When you challenge the demonic, it doesn't act at that particular given time. It waits until you are the most vulnerable.
But it knows a fair mistake. He's screaming at these devils. Leave my little buddy alone.
Challenge the demonic.
He's not catching ball with you? Do you need somebody to play ball?
Yo, listen, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. So look, we got a little spooky videos, paranormal videos, what I could gather on TikTok. Some of these videos you may have already seen. Those were just a little aesthetics, a little aesthetics to set the tone for the video I have for it. Oh no.
Oh, 你妈的！
Going past the ball.
操你妈！ 操你妈的！操你妈！
Oh Trying to be courageous and scared at the same damn time. Like, there's no way that I would go back. I don't know. Let's see. Yo!
Truco. No le dé bola, no le dé bola, no le dé bola porque es peor. No le dé bola. ¿Qué hora es? ¿Qué hora es? Son las 3 de la mañana. Las 3 de la mañana. Siempre arranca los redes, no le dé bola. Hace cuenta no pasa nada porque si no es peor, boludo. No, dale, mira, no le dé bola. Dale, dale, juega, boludo, dale. No es nada, son ruidos nomás. Se salió re mal, Nino, cuando estábamos, dale, juega. Ahí está, apaga la luz. Apaga la luz. No apague nada. Apágala. Para que le voy a preguntar. No se acabó, para. ¿Por qué no quisiste hablar con nosotros ayer? Para aquí, a ver, vamos a probar, para. Manifestate si estás acá. Ahí está, entra que yo le pregunto, dale, entra, no se acabó. Dale, es la primera vez que me pasa estando con alguien, dale. Encima tengo todo grabado, pará. ¿Por qué me estás molestando a mí? Pará, no te vayas. Pará. No, dale. En serio, si te ayudo, ¿me dejas en paz? Pará. Entra. Abrí la puerta. Pará. ¿Cómo te saco de ahí? ¿Moriste hace mucho? Pará, entra. ¿Podemos entrar a verte? Entra, dale, pará. Dale, no seas cagón, entra. Dale, por favor, entra que te grabo de acá, dale. Entra, boludo, dale. Prende la luz. Pará, déjame a mí, vení, déjame a mí. Pará. Vamos a salir, salí.
Scared. There's no one standing there, but there's a silhouette, like a shadow of
This motherfuckers are real. Real. If you came here to kill me, clap your hands. Well, that wasn't clapping your hands, that was more like just... I may or may not have climbed up, because there is no stairs.
I bet you find them damn stairs now.
SpongeBob night. Liam, come here. Liam, right now. What is... Okay, I'm calling your mom. Just stay right here. Where's there? Where's there? A monster! What? A monster, Mom! There's nobody there. Where? Wait. A monster! Wait. A monster! Point to where it is. Over there, Mama! Where? Over there, Mama! A monster? Over there, Mama! Over there, Mama! What's he doing? What do you see? I don't like that. Please check. Oh, I don't like that. It's scary.
Can you tell me more about what you were saying, please? Okay, so spirits, can you tell me more about Hollywood? Because that was getting really interesting. You were starting to talk about Hollywood and then I didn't get any kind of interaction for a while. Can you continue going through spirits and telling me about Hollywood? What kind of people are doing the kind of stuff that you were talking about previously? Did you just say Oprah? What do you mean goes to the bad places? Are we talking about islands and the like? Is that what we're talking about? Islands and weird things like that? Oh, well, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all. Death around these people. So tell me more about Oprah, if you can. Can you come through and talk more about Oprah? I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Can you tell me more about what you were saying, please? What do you mean by more than one of her? I don't understand. Seriously? Mother, what's that? What's that, brother? Talking about hiding in plain sight. That King Charles painting. As if there isn't enough already on him. This draconian warlord. This person that holds this high power. I mean, just look at the image. Look at it. As if that isn't an unforgivable one. He's literally hiding in plain sight.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bond. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet I ask you, is not an alien force already among us?
Guys, you need to listen up.
Did you say Kennedy was going, or JFK?
So the
Energy inhabits people. You're making it sound like it's like a consciousness, it's a live thing. Is that what it is? Hello everybody, and it's really good to be back. I had a few days off from trying to do a bit of soul searching and trying to work
exactly what's going
on. So I've had so many people contact me and asking about negative energy. With the way the earth is at the moment, people are so concerned with what's going on, and they're just wondering if there is negative energy flowing. Spirits, I want to ask you about negative energy. Can you tell me about it? Obviously, so you're saying it produces more energy. Okay.
The energy
It inhabits people. You're making it sound like it's like a consciousness, it's a live thing. Is that what it is? I kind of gather we
understand
the link between negative energy around us and us being ill. Does it affect everything? So,
where does this
energy come from? Is it literally just created by
those in power to keep
everybody down? You've mentioned dark souls before. You said that they feed off of this. So, negative energy is given to us. We become ill, which feeds more negative energy, and they live off of this. Wow, that's really worrying.
Morning, everybody.
Anybody feel it? Any results?
While out walking, this young man encountered something strange lurking just behind him. Given the man's amusing response, many viewers believe it's just a staged skit. However, others aren't so sure, noting just how strange and eerie the figure behind him really is.
In my mind, I'm saying that's DoorDash right there, waiting on their tip. They sick of this shit.
So this house here is called La Casa de los Tubos, and it's located in Monterrey, Mexico. It's been beautifully renovated. By the way it looks now, you would never know that it's apparently one of the most haunted locations in Mexico. This is what it used to look like, and it has a very creepy story behind it. But before I tell you, my name is Ashley, and I talk about crime, creepy, and unbelievable stories. Check out my TikTok and YouTube for my link in bio. So the story starts in the 1970s when a wealthy family was said to have contracted a company to build this home from scratch. Part of the reason that it had all these tubes was because they had a daughter that was actually paralyzed and she needed a wheelchair. So they wanted a home that was going to be easily accessible for her. This meant that the tubes would provide more of a ramp style instead of staircases everywhere. However, almost right away from the beginning of construction, the house was said to have brought a lot of bad luck. Initially, a lot of tools would go missing and the construction workers were just said to have had a very bad vibe about the home. One day things escalated. The construction worker was heard talking to someone very loudly, and then it was followed by a loud scream. The construction worker fell out of the window and was unalived. It didn't stop the construction of the house though, it kept going. On a visit to the home when the entire family was inspecting it, they brought their daughter along. That visit, something tragic happened to her. As she was testing out the ramps in the house, she was said to have lost control. So her wheelchair started spinning down the tubes until it hit a wall, and then she was basically flung out the window, and became unalived. That wasn't it. Her father was said to have been so distraught about his daughter's passing that he unalived himself inside the house. So that the house remained abandoned for almost a decade. And in the late 80s, another family was interested in the home so they could finish renovating it to their taste. So the family goes to visit the house and they bring along their young son with them. The young boy had gone off on his own and he was said to be looking out one of the windows. There are multiple versions of this story. Some people swear that they saw a little girl push the boy out the window. Regardless of what happened, he did fall and became unalive. An extensive search was done in the house for this little girl, but no such girl was ever found. After that, the house remained abandoned again, but people passing by swear they see apparitions in the house. Most of the sightings have to do with the little girl that's seen in the house waving at people from a particular window. And in 2015, someone finally bought the house. Put a lot of money and effort into renovating the house, and this is what it looks like today.
Hey yo, how do you get that? Still moving?
What's your name? What's your name? Eva? Officer in base, I think I'm looking for this girl. What are you doing out here? Juliana? Oh my goodness. She's over here now. Come with me. Why not? Come with me.
I can't.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to How Many Cats?
Do you notice something
Kind of off about this mannequin? For anyone who's familiar with the legend, she is known as La Pascualita. The mannequin
stood in the
the window of a Mexican bridal shop for more than 90 years, but when she was first placed there, patrons noticed something kind of strange. The detail work on this mannequin was unusual. She was noted with eyebrow hair, veins, and even discoloration around her mouth and ears. But that suspicion soon grew to horror as patrons started to notice that she bore a striking resemblance to the owner's deceased daughter, Pascuala. Pascuala was actually set to be married herself, but ended up dying in a tragedy before her wedding day. Shortly after her death, the mannequin appeared in the window and the legend was born, were the preserved remains of the owner's daughter. But the most compelling evidence has always been the hands. The hands are shown with wrinkles, they have veins, they even have lifelike fingernails, which is unlike any mannequin I have ever seen. The question remains to this day, could this really be the shop owner's daughter?
Could it?
Do you guys remember the case of Riker Webb and how he survived 2 days alone in the woods after going missing? Well, the same thing just happened to this little boy, and it's a crazy story. This is Phoenix Wilkerson. He's a 4-year-old little boy who's autistic and nonverbal, and he disappeared from his family's camper near Sid Bush Road in Clayton, Alabama last Friday. That day, his mom stepped away and went to her mom's home nearby to use the bathroom. And when she returned, little Phoenix was nowhere to be found. At the time, he was barefoot and only wearing a t-shirt and sweats. And with the weather turning cold, his family became extremely worried and began searching for him. But when they still couldn't find him at around 12:30 p.m., they officially reported him missing to the police. It was assumed that Phoenix wandered away from the family camper, so an emergency missing child alert was issued and a massive search began. With the worsening weather conditions, the police almost gave up hope that Phoenix would be found. But nearly 3 days later, a miracle happened. Somehow, after 2 nights of heavy rainfall and freezing temperatures, Phoenix was found alive in the woods, and only a mile away from where he went missing. The volunteer searcher named Mark Keith Williams, who found Phoenix, said that day he was actually planning on going to church, but his wife kept pushing him to go with her to help search for the missing boy. And when he woke up, he said that Phoenix was heavy on his heart. So the two showed up to the command post and were put into a search group. About 2 miles in, everyone split up and kind of went their separate ways, except for Mark Keith and his group, who decided to search in a different direction than the others. A day after Phoenix went missing, little footprints were reportedly found in a large field, so the group went that direction, and it was there that Mark Keith spotted Phoenix far off in the distance. According to Mark Keith, Phoenix was still wearing the same clothes from the day he went missing, and he was still barefoot. Phoenix reportedly looked really scared until he realized the group wasn't going to hurt him. This is the odd part, though. Despite being found in the woods spending nights in the rain, Mark Keith said that Phoenix didn't appear to be dirty, and his feet looked really clean. And according to authorities, Phoenix was calm and in good physical health. He was wrapped in warm blankets and had socks placed on his feet before being taken to the hospital for further evaluation. Mark Keith believes that he was sent by God to save the little boy, and thankfully he was found, although the investigation into his disappearance remains ongoing. It's not often that stories like this have a good outcome, so I'm thankful that Phoenix is now safe and sound.
Riker has been found hungry, thirsty and cold, but in good health after going missing for days. Near his home in Montana, he was last seen playing with the family's dog. After disappearing, police received a concerned call from a neighbor and began searching. A code red was sent to all nearby residents as teams combed through dense vegetation in the area. He was found on Pine Ridge Road, about 2.5 miles from where he'd last been seen.
Asking about what happened? Riker, do you remember when you got lost? What do you see? A house? In the woods? Someone lived in the house? I'm sorry that happened to you, bro. That was scary.
The disappearance of 3-year-old Riker Webb is one of the strangest stories I've ever read. So this is Riker Webb, a 3-year-old from small-town Troy, Montana. And on June 5th, 2023, this is how he looked when he was found. On that day, a family that was visiting their remote cabin in the middle of the wilderness heard the sounds of a little boy crying out from behind a shed. When they went behind the shed, they discovered young 3-year-old Riker. He was all alone, he was terrified, and they didn't know how he had gotten there. So they called the police, they located his family, and they figured out that he'd been missing for 2 nights. So apparently on the day that he went missing, Riker had been outside playing with his dog, and he decided to go on a walk by himself. Now, according to some reports, his family actually noticed that he had been missing but waited for 2 hours to actually report it to the police. And in that time, Riker traveled a very long distance. Now, just take a look at this little map. This is where Riker was at the beginning of this ordeal, and this is where he was found 2 days later. I think it's absolutely wild that a 3-year-old could actually walk that far in 2 days, let alone completely by themselves in an area that, according to locals, is heavily populated with bears and mountain lions. Now, during the time while Riker was missing, there were massive thunderstorms that were pummeling the area, water was pouring down from above, and at night the temperatures dropped into the 40s, so these were absolutely insane weather conditions. And even some adults wouldn't be able to survive this ordeal. So there are still so many questions that remain in my head about this case, like how he made his way all the way down from that point to that point, how he survived the elements. But at the end of the day, I'm just so happy that he was found and located and brought home safely.
Welcome to prison. Only you can decide if this is a country club or what others call a hellhole. Welcome to the dark cell at the Yuma Territorial Prison. Prisoners would be stripped down their underwear, put in the cage. Some of the guards would drop scorpions and snakes through the vent. We have had paranormal investigators asked to be put in the dark cell, and not one made it overnight. She cut out his heart and threw it. Betrayed.
We're going to shut you in. In 2013, 78-year-old former Monsanto
stop scrolling, you need to hear this. This is Bruce Menley, a former... This guy's one of the most disturbing killers. Am I the only one that finds it disturbing that headlines exist like this?
I found a video with Spanish captions. Listen to this.
About what happened? Riker, do you remember when you got lost? What did you see?
Anyway, I have one more. And this is about some faces. Let's go.
The remote Spanish village of Belmez became home to a truly extraordinary phenomenon. It's a mystery that followed Maria Gomez for over 3 decades. I was cooking one day when I saw the face on the floor. But I didn't give it any attention. I had a fever then, and thought that must have been the reason why I saw this strange face. I didn't take it seriously at all. But it wasn't Maria's fever. A few days later, the face returned. Wherever you stood, the face watched you. It almost seemed like it was moving its eyes. Alerted by the press, visitors and scientists swarmed in from around the globe. Investigations discovered that Maria's house was built on a graveyard, and directly beneath the image of the face, human remains were discovered. The floor was replaced, and even more faces appeared. Nobody could find an explanation. Even the scientific researchers were here from Madrid. For 10 days they searched here with their tools and equipment and tried to find something. Before they left, I asked them if they could tell me what they had discovered. They told me, no one can discover the truth here. You'll die and never find out what it is. I don't know what this thing is. It's truly something amazing. The faces were varied. Some faint, some clear. Some looking very familiar. What or who was producing them? Neighbors mentioned a young man living in the village who was a skilled artist, but no connection was ever discovered. Petros Sogrob is a parapsychologist investigating the case. At the time of his research, he was convinced of the link between the woman and the phenomena. We know that the faces can't appear without Maria, and we know that once Maria leaves the house, the faces fade. We also know that when Maria's psychological state is weak, if she's feeling down or tired, then the faces lose intensity. Just like photographs, the faces go through a slow developing process. Yet no traces of chemicals or dyes had been found. Only God knows why the faces appeared to me. Because how many other houses have the same concrete as mine, yet this hasn't happened anywhere else? Only here, in this house. Sabemos perfectamente que las caras no se forman sin María. The faces usually go through a weird transformation process, like a molecular
formation of the dark particles in the concrete. First they form lines, and then reshape into faces. Maria Gomez died in February 2004, aged 85. Her belief in her faces never wavered. Just before her death, she said, I would like them to come with me. After all, they have given me so much company throughout my life, so I would like them to keep me company in the next world, so people can see that it wasn't fraud, that what happened here is real. With her death, the faces were expected to disappear. They did something far stranger. They resurfaced in a nearby house where Maria was born. A final twist to her own ghost story. If poltergeists and spirits and ghosts are genuine, if they really exist, they are going to revolutionize how we see the world. Hundreds of years of scientific thought will simply be wrong.
And that, my friends, is everything that I have for today. But just a thought before we go with the faces and Maria. At one point I thought maybe, it could be entities or energies from a past life that was just holding on to Maria until it was time for her to move on. And it struck me at the end when she was like, when I move on to the next world, she was saying she wants them to come with her. But miraculously, the house that Maria was born in, they started appearing. The faces started appearing in the floor. And when I was looking at it, the faces really resembles her face. So I don't know. Anyway, listen guys, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Please go right on ahead, like, share, and subscribe. And hey, don't be a stranger.